Sarah Lockwood Pardee Winchester was born around 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut. She grew up in a well-off family, known for their intelligence and good education. Her father, Leonard Pardee, was a successful carpenter and businessman. Sarah was a bright student and, learned several languages, including Latin and French, as a child. In 1862, Sarah married William Wirt Winchester, the only son of Oliver Winchester. Oliver was the founder of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Sarah became part of a wealthy family whose name was known across America. Her marriage brought her into a world of privilege and responsibility. Sarah and William lived a comfortable life in New Haven. They enjoyed the arts, music, and society events. Sarah was known for her lovely singing voice and charm. The couple seemed to have a bright future ahead of them. But, life was not always easy for Sarah. Her story soon took a sad turn, leading to events that would shape her life and legacy. Sarah and William had one child, a daughter named Annie Pardee Winchester, born in 1866. Sadly, Annie died just weeks after birth from a disease called marasmus, caused by malnutrition. This loss broke Sarah's heart, and she never had another child. Only a few years later, in 1881, Sarah's husband William died of tuberculosis. His death left Sarah a widow at just 42 years old. She lost both her child and her husband within a short time, leaving her lonely and grieving. William's death also made Sarah incredibly wealthy. She inherited millions of dollars, a huge sum for that time. Sarah also received about 50% ownership of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, which paid her a daily income of about $1,000. A fortune then. With her new wealth, Sarah could have chosen almost any life she wanted. Instead, she made choices that would surprise many people and become the source of legends. Sarah's life after these tragedies became even more mysterious, as she moved far from her old home and began a new chapter in California. The Winchester Repeating Arms Company was famous for making rifles and firearms. Their most famous product was the Winchester rifle, called the gun that won the West. The company became extremely successful, selling thousands of rifles across America. Sarah's husband William was the treasurer of the company. After his death, Sarah inherited almost half of the business. This made her a major shareholder and secured her financial future. She did not run the company, but her money came from its ongoing success. As a wealthy widow, Sarah received her income from Winchester profits. She did not take an active role in the factory or decision-making. Still, her connection to the guns and the deaths they caused would later become part of legends about her life. Sarah's wealth allowed her to support herself and her extended family. She donated to charities and causes she cared about. Her fortune also gave her the freedom to start a new life in California, away from sorrow and gossip. Through her link to the Winchester fortune, Sarah's name would forever be tied to both American history and mystery. Sarah Winchester's life had several key events that shaped her story. She was born in 1839, married in 1862, and became a mother in 1866, only to lose her daughter soon after. The death of her husband in 1881 changed everything for Sarah. Shortly after William's death, Sarah left New Haven, Connecticut. She moved to California in 1884, searching for a new start. She purchased an unfinished farmhouse near San Jose and began to expand it. This home would later become the Winchester Mystery House. Sarah spent the next 38 years working on her house. Construction never seemed to stop. She hired teams of builders, carpenters, and craftsmen who worked day and night. The house grew from a small home to a mansion with hundreds of rooms. During her years in California, Sarah rarely spoke to the press. She lived quietly, managing her home and finances. She also donated money to local hospitals, churches, and charities, even if she preferred to keep her kindness private. Sarah died in 1922 at the age of about 83, leaving behind a house full of mysteries and rumors that would last for generations. The Winchester Mystery House is located in San Jose, California. It stands out as one of the strangest homes in America. The mansion covers more than 24,000 square feet and once had 160 rooms, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, and 47 stairways. What makes the house so unusual are its odd features. There are staircases that lead to nowhere, doors that open onto walls, and windows built into the floors. Some rooms are tiny and strange, while others are grand and decorated with stained glass. The house seems almost like a maze, designed without a clear plan. I hired carpenters to work around the clock for decades. I often changed my mind or redesigned rooms. Some people say I did this to confuse ghosts who might be haunting me, but there is no proof of this. The real reason may be simpler. I enjoyed building and loved to experiment with design. The house also had many modern features for its time. There were indoor plumbing, gas lights, and elevators. My home was not just odd, it was also advanced and comfortable for its day. The Winchester Mystery House remains a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors who want to see its strange beauty and hear its legends. For many years, people have told ghost stories about Sarah Winchester and her mansion. One myth says that Sarah built the house to appease or confuse the angry spirits of people killed by Winchester rifles. Others say she consulted mediums and followed mysterious instructions from spirits. However, historians have found little evidence to support these spooky tales. Most records show that Sarah was a private, creative woman who enjoyed building. She liked to try new designs and make her home unique. There is no proof she truly believed in ghosts, or that she was haunted by guilt. The truth is, Sarah faced many losses in her life. Building her house may have been her way to cope with sadness and keep busy. She was not the only wealthy person of her time to start large, unusual building projects. Still, the legends grew over time. Stories about séances, hidden rooms, and restless spirits made the house more famous and mysterious. Today, visitors love to hear both the real history and the ghostly tales. The real Sarah Winchester was interesting in her own right, apart from the supernatural stories. In Sarah Winchester's own time, newspapers printed stories about her strange house. Some reporters called her mysterious or eccentric. They wrote about the endless building, the unusual design, and her private lifestyle. This helped create her image as a mysterious and secretive woman. After her death, the stories grew even wilder. Writers and tour guides began to focus on ghost stories and curses. These tales made good headlines and sold tickets, but they were often based on little or no real evidence. Historians have worked hard to discover the truth behind the legend. They have found records showing that Sarah was careful with her money, generous to charities, and interested in new technology. They also found she was private, possibly shy, and didn't like attention. Recently, books and articles have tried to correct the record. They explain that Sarah Winchester was a creative and thoughtful person, not just a sad or haunted widow. Her house and life were unusual, yes, but also interesting for reasons beyond ghost stories. The media shaped Sarah's legend, but historians help us see the real woman. After Sarah's death in 1922, her mansion was sold and turned into a museum. The Winchester Mystery House opened to the public in 1923, and people have visited it ever since. It is now a California historical landmark and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Sarah's legacy goes beyond the house. She gave large sums to hospitals, the Red Cross, and other charities. She also supported her extended family and paid good wages to her workers. Some of her gifts were anonymous because she did not seek fame for her kindness. The mansion has inspired movies, books, and television shows. It is famous around the world as a symbol of mystery and imagination. People come to see its strange halls and to learn about the woman who built it. The real message of Sarah Winchester's life is about creativity, resilience, and generosity. Her house is a work of art, and her story shows that people can find meaning and hope even after great loss. Sarah Winchester's legacy is lasting and meaningful, continuing to inspire curiosity and respect. Sarah Winchester remains one of America's most fascinating figures. She was born into comfort, but faced great loss, losing her only child and beloved husband. With her wealth, she chose to create something unusual and lasting, the Winchester Mystery House. Her story became surrounded by myths of ghosts and curses. But the truth is just as interesting. Sarah was a private, artistic woman who found comfort in building and designing. She used her money for good causes, helped her workers, and lived life on her own terms. The mansion she built is a symbol of her spirit, creative, complex, and one of a kind. The real facts about her life show a person who was resilient, generous, and innovative, not just haunted or sad. Even without the ghost stories, Sarah Winchester's life is a powerful reminder of how people can shape their own destinies. Her real story is worth knowing and remembering. Sarah Winchester's truth is just as remarkable as any legend, and her life continues to inspire people today.